And right now at 11, it is crunch time for the candidates. In less than 36 hours, voters in New Hampshire will head to the polls for the first in the nation primary. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Priscilla Casper.
And I'm Glenn Jones. Big moves on the campaign trail today as Florida Governor Ron DeSantis drops out of the race and endorses former President Donald Trump.
Now, it was a bit of a surprise here, but looking at the numbers, it's not shocking. According to our exclusive Suffolk University, NBC 10 Boston and Boston Globe tracking poll, DeSantis was a distant third, dropping a percentage point overnight. Well, now Donald Trump and Nikki Haley will battle it out for DeSantis voters.
And we have team coverage to go after it all tonight from the Granite State, beginning with NBC 10 political reporter Matt Pritchard in Manchester.
This is an announcement that a lot of people saw coming. Ron DeSantis with a disappointing second-place finish in Iowa, snowballing into low polling numbers in New Hampshire, and ultimately an early exit for him out of the 2024 GOP field. The GOP leaderboard,
I am today suspending my campaign.
Receiving a shakeup Sunday. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis dropping out of the presidential race and handing former President Donald Trump his latest endorsement.
He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear, a repackaged form of warmed-over corporatism that Nikki Haley represents.
His departure means just two high-profile GOP candidates remain.
This is a great honor to be with you tonight.
I'm interested in doing this the right way and winning the right way.
The one-on-one matchup kicking into high gear as Nikki Haley ramps up her rhetoric.
You look at Donald Trump, and what he's done is he's decided who's a good Republican, who's a bad Republican, who's a right Republican, who's a wrong Republican, who's a good American, who's a bad American. We're not going to do that anymore.
Trump, in turn, firing back at his former UN ambassador.
Every globalist, liberal, Biden supporter, and never Trumper is on her side.
As for voters, they're finalizing their decision before heading to the polls.
I get Donald Trump. I just get him. I got him before he announced he was going to run.
I'm curious about learning more about Nikki Haley. I typically vote Democrat, but I'm more independent. There's no way in hell that I would ever vote for Trump.
And the ballot here in New Hampshire will still feature many of the names that we've lost along the way. Voters, they're going to have to make up their mind between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. And over on the Democratic side, of course, trying to write in Joe Biden or pick from Dean Phillips, Marianne Williamson, and a few others as well. In Manchester, I'm Matt Pritchard.
And as Matt just mentioned there, the push for the Republican nomination is now a head-to-head battle between former President Donald Trump and his former UN ambassador, Nikki Haley. Our NBC 10's Kirsten Glavin attended Haley's rally in Exeter tonight. She's joining us live there now. Kirsten. Yeah, Glenn, Priscilla, despite the polls, many New Hampshire voters, specifically here at Nikki Haley's rally, are remaining hopeful that she can beat former President Donald Trump come Tuesday. And they're counting on the support of independent voters to get that done.
Holy cow, it's great to see everybody out here.
Opening her rally in Exeter, New Hampshire, Governor Chris Sununu and Court TV star Judge Judy telling a packed house that Nikki Haley is the only candidate for the White House.
I'm not here necessarily to bash the competition, although I'm perfectly capable of doing that.
Haley wasting no time acknowledging that Republican competitor Ron DeSantis is now officially out.
Can you hear that sound? That's the sound of a two-person race.
Now just 2 days out from the New Hampshire primary, Haley reiterating some of her key campaign points, including criticizing Congress, the need to balance a budget, and coming down on China. When speaking of former President Donald Trump,
chaos follows him.
Haley asking voters to look forward.
When you vote on Tuesday, you're going to be making a decision. Do you want more of the same? Or do you want to go forward?
And many voters believing she can come out on top this Tuesday.
Very hopeful for Nikki. I think she'll sweep the state, and it will be a wonderful thing.
There's so many independent voters, and they get to choose which ballot they take. I think that's going to, if they go out to vote, I think that I think Trump's going to be surprised.
Others more skeptical.
I think Trump is going to win, but I can't support that.
We can't win with everything that's happened in the past. We have to make a clean slate. So we'll see what happens.
And many Nikki Haley supporters tonight told us they don't believe that DeSantis dropping out of this race will have much of an impact on Haley's run because he wasn't polling very well here anyway in the Granite State. We're live in Exeter, New Hampshire tonight. I'm Kirsten Glavin, NBC 10 Boston.
Kirsten, thank you. Now, while Haley tried to win over voters, Trump was doing the same thing up in Rochester. Tonight, the former president took the stage in front of a crowd at the Rochester Opera House. And during his remarks, he touted what he wants to accomplish if he were to win a second term in the White House.
We want borders. We want low taxes. We want a strong military. We want to drill, baby, drill. We want to drill, baby, drill and bring down energy costs.
The former president will make another go at drumming up voter support tomorrow night in Laconia.
All right, let's get to NBC 10 political analyst Sue O'Connell, who basically lives in New Hampshire these days. She's there again tonight. Sue, back in May of last year, when DeSantis declared his candidacy for president, he was the Republican Party's biggest rising star. Every one of his moves as Florida governor seemed to be fashioned for a run at the White House. And now, even before the first primary, he's done. What happened?
What a difference a few months make, huh, Glenn? Well, first of all, Trump happened, right? Trump got in the race, and that changed everything. People were willing to vote for Trump instead of DeSantis, even with all of the indictments and the trials coming up. So why would you want to knock off Trump if you're a Trump voter when you can get the real thing? That's one thing. The other thing is his campaign was a mess from the start. Remember, he launched on X. There were all sorts of problems with the way that they announced the campaign. He had a revolving door of staff that actually left and went to work for the Trump campaign, and he never really caught on with voters. He never found his stride. So it was kind of doomed from the very beginning, but we haven't seen the last of Ron DeSantis by any means, but definitely this campaign was on fumes for at least the past 3 months, Glenn.
Yeah, you ended there with what I was going to ask next. Should we assume that DeSantis runs for president again sometime in the future, maybe the near future? And does he leave enough voters behind this time around to change the New Hampshire primary in any meaningful way?
Yeah, you know, many people have run for president many times and lost many times. Joe Biden is one of them. I can tell you one lesson that DeSantis is taking away from this experience is how not to run a presidential campaign. So he looks like a smart guy. We're not talking about policy here. We're just talking about the business of campaigning. I think he will improve, and the next time we see DeSantis running for something, he will be a better candidate. Does it impact the race right now in New Hampshire? No. The votes that DeSantis was going to get, you know, they will go to Trump, but he didn't have that many, so Trump's so far ahead it doesn't make a difference. The DeSantis voters were not going to vote for Nikki Haley anyway, so it doesn't impact her race. What it does is what Nikki Haley and Trump have been saying since Iowa. It is now a two-person race, although there's still one other guy on the Republican side, but it's a two-person race between Trump and Nikki Haley, and DeSantis is just going to step aside and let them go at it.
Polls open on Tuesday. Thanks very much, Sue O'Connell. We'll be seeing you soon and often.
And
all the time.
While the primary season is mostly focused on the Republicans, there are a few Democrats that are fighting for votes here, and that includes Dean Phillips, who was out campaigning today in Hampton. Phillips is challenging President Joe Biden, but Biden's name will not be on the primary ballot on New Hampshire. However, there is a write-in campaign for the president. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu was in New Hampshire supporting that effort, encouraging write-in votes for President Biden.
All right, so just 36 hours now, less than that, until the polls officially open in New Hampshire, officially kicking off this presidential election cycle. As the candidates make their final pitch to voters, you can find details of their rallies and events on our candidate tracker. Just scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, NBC10Boston.com/candidate tracker.
And you can even join us for live coverage from New Hampshire throughout the day, Tuesday and into that night. At Issue host are Corey Smith and NBC 10's JC Monahan will be keeping track of votes as they roll in. It all starts at 7 p.m. right here on NBC 10 Boston, and it will continue on our digital channels through 11 p.m.